In this video, we're going to talk about how to differentiate yourself from the competition on Amazon by influencing Amazon's search algorithm and compelling customers to buy more. So unless you have a very unique product on Amazon or a very unique product in general, there's most likely going to be competition for your product. Even if it's a patented product no one else can make, there's probably other ways to solve the same problem you're trying to solve. Yours may be very novel, very unique, but there's other people doing it. Also, maybe your product isn't so novel and it's not so much a Me Too product, but it's a brand that you're building and creating on Amazon and trying to grow from there. So how do you differentiate yourself from all that competition on Amazon? First of all, you got to put yourself in the customer's shoes. When they're seeing that need and they're wanting to search for your problem on Amazon and find a solution through a product, they're pulling up the app on their phone or going to their computer, they're typing in a search query, and there's hundreds, thousands of products showing up in front of them. So you have to make yourself stand out in two different ways when customers are doing this. Number one, what they see, what they click on, right? When they get into your page. Two, what's compelling them to buy. And you also have to stand out to Amazon, right? You've got to influence the search algorithm. You got to be up there top space number one so that you stand out to them, so Amazon can, again, the more you sell, the more you rank higher in the rankings for those products. So these both play directly off each other and help drive the Amazon flywheel overall. So this is something that I see brands struggle with all the time. Again, they have issues standing out on Amazon to Amazon search algorithm. They have issues standing out to customers. So let's kind of break those two down. First, let's talk about standing out to Amazon. What do I mean by that? Again, I don't mean the people behind the scenes at Amazon creating all the uniqueness and the framework of the entire Amazon ecosystem. No, I mean Amazon search algorithm, right? Because that's what it is. It's all these different data points that Amazon is using to influence where products show up in rankings, right? Could be in organic rankings, could be in ad rankings, could be in different organic, not in search rankings, different organic lists and things like that on the pages. And so you can influence a bit how your product stands out there, right? The number one thing that I think of and the number one thing that brands really think about is the content in their listings, especially in the fields of the title, the bullet points, and the back-end keywords of the search terms. That's where Amazon's algorithm is actually pulling out those keywords and keyword phrases that customers are using when they're searching for their product on Amazon. Amazon's pulling out those from those spots, those particular keywords. So you want to make sure that you're not just keyword stuffing. You want to make sure that you have the right, again, keywords and keyword phrases in your copy on Amazon. Also, you want to make sure you have a really good conversion rate for your page. And you may say, hey Ryan, what's a good conversion rate? Well, there's no good or bad conversion rate. It's you have where you're at now and improving it, right? Because you'll hear in some categories, a 10% conversion rate can be good. In other categories, a 30 or 40% conversion rate can be good. It just depends on the product, depends on the market, depends on a number of different factors. But just take it as a moment in time where you're at now and then improve upon that. Because Amazon's, again, algorithm uses conversion rate as a factor for organic rankings. The more people are coming to your page, and the more they're compelled to buy it, that's going to help influence you overall in the organic rankings on Amazon. The other way you need to stand out, not only to Amazon as the algorithm, but also with the Amazon customers we talked about. That's the other side of this coin. One of the first ways to do that is standing out to customers in terms of putting an ad at the top of the page for your top keyword, your main keyword phrases, also for your brand name. Frankly, we see times a lot of brands, they don't actually bid for their brand name keywords. So you'll type in that brand's name on Amazon, and actually a competitor's ad will show up at the top, and it'll show up before any of the brand's products themselves. You can influence that by bidding on your own brand name in your campaigns on Amazon. Also, think about things that customers see when they first search for your product. They're seeing the biggest things are they're seeing your main image, they're seeing reviews, and they're seeing your title. So let's break those down. Main image, you want that to be a high quality e-commerce focused image. It's in line with Amazon's guidelines. It's on a white background, taking up a majority of that square space, right? You want to take a majority of that space up, push it on mobile, it shows up really well, and have it be a high quality professionally shot photo. Don't do something and a light box with your cell phone. That's a quick and dirty tactic to get things up and going, but long term you would have a great photo there. Also, what customers are seeing is the title. You can have in some categories 150 or 200 characters in a title, but Amazon is truncating the first maybe 50-ish characters in that title in the search page results. You want to be able to shorten the first part of that title, have it be very descriptive and telling the customer exactly what they're getting so they can see directly from the search results, here's what it is. The third thing is reviews. Reviews are a huge part of the Amazon ecosystem we talked about before. They build trust with obviously Amazon as a platform overall, but also with the end customer that they have trust that you have a great product. It's not only number of reviews, but also the quality of those reviews. And so using things like Amazon Vine to start out for newly launched products, but also continually messaging customers in an organic and a white hat way to ask them to still leave a review. That's again what you want to think about is what the customer is seeing, how you can influence what they're seeing when they look at the search results page. Then when they click into your listing, it's all the things we talked about before. It's creating a great looking Amazon page. You've got a solid infographics that explain exactly what your product is and does without the customer having to read anything. You've got really descriptive bullets if they do want to read and find out some of the more particulars about your product. You've got an A+ page that really, again, spells out more about your brand, the family of products, or the single product that you're highlighting there. So again, customers get to that page. They're not even going back to the search results page. They're clicking add to cart right there from that page. So to get this to work, you have to kind of engage two different parts of your team, or think about it, two different brains, right? You've got your creative side that's thinking about more of how your brand's positioned on Amazon, the look and feel of how things are presented. And then you've got that digital marketing side of things where you're talking about keywords, keyword phrases, conversion rate, things like that. Creative teams focus on making a great looking page. What kind of content can we put on Amazon that matches the rest of our brand, but fits in within Amazon's kind of cookie cutter pages, but again, still vibes with our entire brand story and our brand look and feel. The digital marketing team is focused more on the tactical pieces, right? They're focused on where our product's ranking, performance on conversion rate, and maybe some ad metric performance, where you're showing up, top of search, things like that. So both need to be working together for these common goals. And typically it makes sense to maybe carve out some metrics around this, right? To make sure you're hitting on both of these. So we already mentioned some of them, like page conversion rate, measuring top of search. You can measure overall visits. Maybe you can take some of your ad campaigns and measure click-through rate. Biggest thing with this is you don't want this to be a one-time project that just happens by itself out on an island and then it's done. This needs to be continually, right? And maybe the bigger lifts are going to be at the beginning of this time when you're going to be doing most of the big changes. And after that, it's going to be maybe more small incremental changes, but always looking for ways to tweak, especially as Amazon's algorithm is always changing. It's changing every single day. And then different parts of Amazon are changing in terms of how you can influence the page, in terms of what content you can provide as well. So what we see here at Sharmac when we interact with our clients or potential clients, we see usually one of three scenarios, right? One, they're really good at the creative side of things. They have a great looking page on Amazon. Their product looks great, but they're not doing a great job with the digital marketing piece, right? They don't have the right keywords in there. They're not doing anything to influence Amazon's algorithm, ads or anything like that to influence and get higher to the top of the page. The other side of it is they're really good at that digital marketing piece, right? They know how to do that, but the content is really poor, right? The infographics don't explain what the product does, or they just don't have the same look and feel as the rest of their brand. And the third scenario is unfortunately when they're really bad at both things, right? There's really nothing working at all. And those are typically the three most common scenarios that we see. And then we also have seen that when brands let distributors or maybe third-party wholesalers handle Amazon entirely for them, both those things can really go down bad really fast. Typically these are just resellers that have no incentive to really drive growth for your products on Amazon. They're just there to capture a piece of the demand that's already out there on Amazon. So really none of this is happening at a high level. Your content becomes really poor to what they can find on your site maybe, and then nobody's really driving the digital marketing aspects and some of the growth strategies there. When brands do bring these in-house, right, and they do bring their presence in-house and they kind of focus on these two sides of the creative side influencing what the customer sees and how they buy, and influence the digital marketing side and how Amazon search algorithm can be influenced, that's when we can see, and we've seen some really great success on Amazon. So we've seen with clients that there's these kind of leading indicators and the metrics we talked about, like conversion rate or maybe some of your ad performance metrics, right? And that leads to like a lagging indicator of trailing sales. So when you look at sales maybe over a weekly, monthly, quarterly time frame, and you're going to start noticing that these things start increasing on the front end, right? Those leading indicators, it's going to lead to the lagging indicator of sales increasing overall, and that's strictly how you're influencing Amazon's overall search algorithm and accelerating that Amazon flywheel.